I guess. Just had probably like the most miserable 3 hours of meditating that I've had so far since doing this. Um, I usually like get up and meditate first thing, but this morning I had to go teach a class early and didn't get up early enough to do it. Um, and I mean, I was like teaching class and I was at the yoga studio and took a class and was doing all like positive things and around positive people, but I just noticed when I got back and tried to sit down and meditate after not doing it for half a day and after just being out, driving and being around people all day and talking and stuff, like it was impossible to get out of my head. Like my mind was going so much. It was just insane to me to notice like when I got out of my regular routine of mostly being by myself, like how other people and situations and just being out doing stuff like affects me. And I realized that like I'm in my head the whole time that I'm out doing that, not in my body at all. Well, maybe a little bit when I was doing yoga, but I really didn't feel connected to myself at all. So it's like, felt like I was just starting over, meditating from the first day, and just like my mind just going so much, and just like thinking about a ton of things that are like just things that make me miserable and make me really unhappy and sad and angry and gross feeling, and just like can't stop thinking about them. I'm like, what's the point of this? Like trying to like feel what's under it or what emotion it's bringing up and what, what the purpose is of that or whatever, trying to figure it out and just not getting anywhere with it. I'm just going around and around in my head. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm trying to, I know resisting that or expecting it to be different is just making it worse. But I don't know. I just feel like completely lost today and not able to do this at all. And like I've gotten nowhere with this whole process, which is really frustrating. And I'm sure it's not true. I know it's just different on different days, and I'm sure it's still doing something. Just the fact that I'm making myself sit down. Just feel like my mind is so much more overly active than other people. I forget that I'm meditating half the time that I'm sitting there. One positive thing, I guess, was that this morning, well, last night and this morning, I was just like really, actually, like couldn't even sleep. I was just super having a ton of anxiety and like a ton of anger over this, just something that came up. It's like a normal thing that I get upset over, but it's just like another piece of information and made me really upset. And I was just considering like canceling plans with someone, and it was just like shouldn't have been that hard of a decision, but I was just like really stressing out over it and wanting to just like be angry and tell the person that I didn't want to see them. And I really like felt strongly that all almost like, well, all last night and then this morning, but for some reason I like didn't act on it. I was like, why don't I just wait, because I'm gonna go to yoga today, and like wait and see how I feel afterwards, because I want to make sure, because I'm always so like back and forth about things and like so certain when I'm in it that that's the right thing, but then the next day it'll be completely different. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait, and I'm really glad that I waited, which is not something that I usually do. I would have just reacted and made the decision right there when I was in that mood. But I've waited, and the answer kind of came to me just from another person giving me advice, and it felt right, and it wasn't even something that I reached out for or tried to figure out. It just like came to me as the day went on, and I think it's the right thing. I don't know, but just I guess just the point was, if I can just learn to like not feel like I need to either make a decision right then or also just ask other people for their advice. I'm always like thinking immediately I need to solve the problem and like go talk to someone about this and have them tell me exactly what to do, and especially if it's like someone who's like a teacher or someone who I think has all the answers, rather than just waiting and seeing how things play out, or letting the answer come to me, or just trusting myself, connecting with myself, and making the decision on my own. It's like I'm always looking outside and having problems to solve, and yeah, and don't feel like that gets me anywhere. Yeah, so I'm feeling really in my head, not connected, all over the place today. Yeah, that's it.